Nigeria is on the spot globally for wrong reasons. The law says 2/3 of members of the National Assembly must approve the declaration of state of emergency. That is, 74 senators and 240 representatives. So what is the meaning of voice vote? Did they get these numbers before emergency rule was okay? This presidential system we are operating now is worse than what happens in a military organization. There is no longer democracy. It portends what is coming in 2027. Our message to our president is that power is transient, not absolute. The power you wield today is not permanent. You only know the beginning of a crisis. Nobody, including you, will know where and when it will end. Nigerians are suffering, but these operators don't care about the people. There is a dangerous light to anarchy in the polity. If they don't apply the brake now, the wrong direction that they are heading may lead to political collapse. To Mr. President, I want to ask you, is this democracy or dictatorship? Where did you get the powers to suspend elected officials when you declare state of emergency rule in the oil-bearing state on Tuesday, March 18, 2025? As the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, you have powers to declare emergency rule all over the country to deal with enemies of state. But from which constitution did you get the powers to suspend elected officials? If you remember, former President Goodluck Jonathan declared emergency rule in Adamawa, Borno, Yobe states in 2013. But he did not sack the governors. Kashim Shettima, who is now your deputy, Borno governor, then, despite the fact that he did not sack governors, below is what you wrote to attack Jonathan, and I quote, "It is now abundantly clear that President Jonathan has finally bared his fangs, confirming what was widely speculated. By declaring a state of emergency in Borno, Yobe, and Adamawa, he has intimidated and emasculated the governors of these states. We are witnessing a dangerous trend in the act of governance and a deliberate ploy to subvert constitutional democracy. The body language of Jonathan administration leads any keen watcher of events to the unmistakable conclusion of the existence of a surreptitious but barely distinguished intention to muzzle the elected governments of these states for what is clearly a display of unpardonable mediocrity and diabolic partisanship geared towards 2015. Borno and Yobe states have been literally under armies of occupation, with the attendant excruciating hardship experienced daily by the indigents and residents of these areas. This government now wants to use this excuse of security challenges faced by the governors to remove them from the states considered hostile to 2015 PDP Jonathan project. Let me be quick to say that this administration will be setting in motion a chain of events, the end of which nobody can predict. President Tinubu, end of quote. President Tinubu, in 2013, you accused Jonathan, somebody who did not remove Shettima and others from office, of setting in motion a chain of events, the end of which nobody can predict. What do you want Nigerians to say about you with your suspension of democratically elected governor, his deputy, and lawmakers? President Tinubu, if your advisors are not ready to tell you the truth, Nigerians have spoken with one voice that your despotic tendencies by jettisoning democratic governance in the name of the state of emergency cannot stand. This is a travesty. This is a travesty taken too far. Sadly, Nigeria is sliding dangerously into full-blown dictatorship. Nowhere in the Constitution is it written that democratically elected officials can be removed by emergency declaration. Jonathan demonstrated this in 2013. You criticized it. Now you have done something worse. Even before the heavily compromised National Assembly ratified it, you already swore in the administrator.
Yes.
Are we in full-blown presidential lawlessness now? The message you are sending to Nigerians is that laws mean nothing to those in power. A series of unchecked abuses. This is a classical example of how democracies die. Enough of executive recklessness and bring it in. The time for tolerating a flagrant disregard for our democratic norms must come to an end. River State stands as the cornerstone of our economic vitality and financial resilience. The current trajectory is far from a viable path to peace. Rather, it risks igniting a crisis that will reverberate beyond state lines, impacting every Nigerian. I speak from the position of an elder who has seen so much in our country. Let this serve as a clarion call. Enough is enough. What is sufficient for the wise to heed the word. The stakes are too high to remain silent anymore. Finally, let me leave you with this quotation, and I quote: every time we refuse to face up to issues and confront them, we weaken our character. We need courage to have strength of character. If we do not have the courage to face things that are wrong and deal with them, we are what the people of old call moral cows in our plump comfortability. There is no doubt that our age suffers from a lack of moral courage. So many are in the inglorious business of keeping their heads down. We are in the process, says a politician, of being standardized morally and at a very low level. The new moral code is, it must be right if everybody does it. Many leaders lose their way because of lack of courage. They lie down before everything instead of standing up for something. All is not lost while we have courage. May God the Almighty, who is always ready to give us all we need. Thank you for your attention, and may God bless Nigeria.
Thank you. I think this